Welcome back to Dvalins Tavern, the coziest corner of chaos in the indie world. Today we are going full toxic with Amog. I really wanted to try the poison flasks, and I didn't expect it to work at all, but somehow it ended up working. So let's just grab a drink and dive in. So here's the plan, or well, the plan I thought made sense, at least in my head. We're using Amog, and honestly I played him only once before. The last time I tried, I died within the first minute. The poison flask just felt weak at first, small damage ticks, slow scaling, not exactly promising. But today I want to see if I could push it to its limits, to make the flask so fast and furious that they'd basically paint the map pink. To do that, I started with the cooldown tome to throw more bottles per second. Then I picked the projectile speed tome because, hey, faster bottles must mean more damage, right? That's the theory at least. I also grabbed the size tome because I wanted to see some huge bottles. And since leveling fast is key in Megabonk, I took the XP tome as well, because nothing's better than more XP raining down while your screen turns into toxic chaos. For defense I went with Aegis, because surviving the first few minutes is always the hardest part with Amog. And for extra flavor I added Aura and Bananas. Two solid options to deal passive damage while the poison does its slow work. When it comes to items, my dream setup was Molten Cheese and Moldy Gloves for extra poison stacks, and of course Toxic Barrel for even more poison. With all that I was hoping to create a sort of poison machine gun Amog, and to my surprise it actually started working. At the start though it was rough. The first few minutes I basically played tag with the mobs, throwing bottles and waiting for the poison to tick. You really have to dance around the enemies early on. It's not about brute force, it's about patience. But then, little by little, I found my core tomes, the flask damage scaled up, and suddenly I was the one in control. By the time I entered stage 2, things were looking great. The poison was spreading fast, Aura and Bananas were cleaning up the waves, and even bosses started melting once the poison started stacking. I became a bit cocky and began activating every difficulty totem and even some cursed boss shrines just to see what would happen. Spoiler, what happened was chaos, but a good kind. The boss fights took a while, but once the poison stacks built up, they just evaporated. And guys, it's such a satisfying feeling watching their health bars drain like that. It took me a while, but somewhere during this madness I noticed something weird. Despite having the size tome, the flasks didn't actually get bigger, which kinda ruined my mental image of Amog lobbing huge toxic barrels across the map. But hey, it still worked, so who am I to complain? The damage was solid and I even started to break my old records. And then it happened, stage 3. I was dealing insane amounts of damage, collecting XP like candy and watching my kill counter climb higher and higher. Even the big mobs were going down fast and I started thinking, wait, this might actually be the run. The bananas were massive, the poison was spreading everywhere and the screen was pure chaos. With 6 minutes into the final wave and the top banner saying cooked, I left the stage and entered the final boss fight. And here's a small disclaimer, I fought this boss only twice and died both times, so I totally forgot that this boss steals your weapons at the start. So there I was, standing in front of the final boss with nothing but my poison flasks. No aura, no Aegis, no bananas, just glass bottles and hope. At first it actually went better than expected, the poison started ticking, the boss HP went down and I actually thought I could do it. Then I got my aura back and things started to look better and better. But then he clapped my ass, completely destroyed me before I could get Aegis back. Even though I didn't win, it was still an incredible run. I unlocked 2 new items, set a personal record of 44,000 kills and honestly had one of the most fun builds I've played so far in Megabonk. It's crazy how something that started as a joke turned into a real powerhouse. So yeah, the Toxic Flask build? Way better than expected, but I'm curious, do you have any tips or tweaks how to make it even stronger? Let me know down in the comments and I might give you a version I'll try in the next run. Until then, thanks for hanging out at Dvalin's Tavern and I'll see you in the next round.